On today's episode of New Mexico State Sports Weekly, NM State softball began their conference schedule last weekend with a home sweep of Utah Valley. Head coach Kathy Rodolph will drop by the studio to break down her team's dominating weekend. Your NM State cheerleaders brought home 4 trophies at the annual USA Collegiate Cheerleading and Dance Championships. Head coach Jessica Covington will be in studio to talk all about it. Pistol Pete will make an appearance on today's show as we bring you Aggie Vision's Pete on the Street from the NCAA tournament in Omaha. And we finish off today's show with women's and men's tennis. Head coaches Ivan Fernandez and Carlos Vargas will visit the studio to talk about their 3-0 starts to conference play. You found the place for all the latest Aggie news. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Welcome to another episode of New Mexico State Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Adam Young. NM State softball continued their dominance last weekend with an impressive sweep of Utah Valley at home to start conference play. The wins pushed the Aggies' overall record to 27-11. Here with me now is head coach Kathy Rodolph. Coach, a great start to conference play, as good as you could have expected?
Absolutely. You know, when you get an opportunity to start at home, you definitely want to take advantage of that, and I felt like our kids came out and did that.
You outscored Utah Valley in your doubleheader Saturday 19-0. The offense was great, but the pitching was really good as well.
You know, we've been waiting all year long to get strong contributions from our top 3 pitchers, and Carista Donosaur, Michaela McAdams, and Dallas McBride, and we absolutely did that this weekend.
You mentioned all those pitchers. You have a lot of depth right now in the circle, don't you?
We definitely do, and really what helps is all of them look different. So if I bring somebody in, then the other team's going to have to adjust to it, whether it's somebody throwing hard from the right, throwing hard from the left, or really moving the ball.
And offensively, who do you think had a good weekend for you?
Well, Fiona Fanal, 4 home runs. She tied a WAC record for home runs in consecutive games. Stacy Rodriguez sets at 49 home runs, about to, hopefully get her 50th one soon. It was difficult to decide who to put up for WAC Hitter of the Week, but Fee, I think, had, double-digit RBIs. Stacy hit over 608 RBIs. It was just a great weekend offensively.
You mentioned the WAC record for Fanal. She's closing in on an NCAA record as well.
Absolutely. Fee is... sometimes you just find kids that love to have a bat in their hand, and that is definitely Fee. If the game's on the line, I would, and I was pitching against her, I'd probably take it out of her hands and walk her.
You touched on starting the season conference play at home. How crucial is that?
Oh, it is huge. When you start on the road and your freshmen are learning what conference is for the first time, playing a team 3 times is a very big challenge, and I think it really helped to get our freshmen to understand what conference play is going to be like.
When you look at the numbers, you would say no to this question, but can you still improve on the offensive end?
Oh, absolutely. We've got 12 kids hitting home runs, but we can also improve on base running a little bit, making sure we capitalize on every mistake, or really reading the ball out of the pitcher's hands. Also, we left quite a few kids on base this weekend a couple of different times, and that, we definitely packed a punch, but I believe we still got more.
You're 38 games in now, so you have a good idea of the team you have. Is this one of the best teams you've had here?
Oh, by far. And what really is our strength is our depth, and so no kid is having to carry too much of the weight. So going into conference this year, I feel very fresh mentally. Physically, Trey has done a phenomenal job of training us. We're healthy. We're excited to play. It's just our depth that really adds to this team.
How do you get the players to stay humble and hungry at this point of the year?
Well, I believe our experience last year, where we did pretty well throughout conference and then came up short at the conference tournament, we definitely keep reminding them of that and understanding that the game doesn't know who's supposed to win. We got to play it every time we show up.
Finally, Coach, at Seattle this weekend. What's your preview of that series?
Well, Seattle is a very strong team that has been a little bit up and down. They've got some pitching and they have some great hitters. They play well at home. They just beat Grand Canyon 1 game out of the series up there. So if we're going to take down Seattle, we definitely have to bring a game.
Come out to the NM State softball complex on April 6th when the Aggies take on Arizona State in a doubleheader. Good luck at Seattle this weekend, Coach.
Thank you very much.
When New Mexico State Sports Weekly returns, head cheerleading coach Jessica Covington will be in studio after a successful USA Collegiate Championship appearance. We'll be right back. Earlier this year, Aggie Vision took you inside the recruiting and tryout process of NM State's cheer squad. The hard work has paid off big time after a great showing at the 21st Annual USA Collegiate Cheerleading and Dance Championships. Head coach Jessica Covington is with me in studio. Coach, congrats on the success. A lot of hardware coming back with you from Anaheim.
Yes, we had a first place finish in the mascot division and a first place and second place in partner stunt, and also a first place in our coveted large co-ed division. That's the big team division.
What was the excitement level after that weekend?
Oh, we were flying high all week, and you know, the kids work so hard all year. It's just really nice that it does pay off in the end of the season.
We just spoke off the air. A lot of your players are freshmen, so a lot of players coming back next year.
Yes, a majority of our team was actually first year, and we did a lot of recruiting out of state. So we have a lot of kids from Arizona, from California, so our athletes. We've just built up to this point over the course of the last 7 years.
How will this success help in recruiting going forward?
Oh, it's been absolutely just completely amazing. Once we finished competing day one, we already had community colleges and several athletes that actually went up to California just to watch. And of course, over this last weekend, we performed at the state cheerleading competition for New Mexico, and we were flying high with all of our hardware and our banners, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Who are some individuals that performed well this month?
Well, in the team division, it really does take everybody. We had a lot of standouts in the partner stunt. So we had Frank Molina. He's actually from California. Okay. He was a big recruit for us this year, and he's he's actually nationally ranked partner stunner. Oh, wow. Even before he came. And Zach Ortega, he also came through. And a majority of our females are actually from New Mexico. So we recruited hard from Las Cruces High, Oñate, a lot of our big southern teams.
How much has this program grown during your time here?
Well, I actually cheered at New Mexico State till 2005, and then I took over in 2008. And it was a little bit of an interesting story taking over those first few years, but we've just really evolved through, of course, budget, receiving more money. ASN, MSU, and athletics have been fantastic to us. And so, of course, the money and scholarships, and naturally the hard work. And I coach competitive cheerleading as well outside of this. And so with that experience, the team has become more competitive, so they've become more nationally known.
You've been just outside first place in the championships in previous years.
Yes.
So how much sweeter was it this year getting first place?
What's really interesting is in the routine, we end in a dance. So I intentionally end that way so that I can kind of relax. Once they hit that ending pyramid, it was really neat because in the video you can tell they knew they won. And so once they hit that final routine, and especially for our seniors, we have Sammy Garcia, and we have Devin Galligan, and Lisa Lopez Granado. Those are our three seniors that have really led this program the last few years, and you could just see them hugging each other because what's neat about competitive cheer is once you hit that final stunt, you know if you won or not. So it's just been such a phenomenal experience.
When you see that look in their faces, that makes it all worth it for you, doesn't it?
All worth it. All the 10 o'clock practices at night and the Sunday practices and the millions of games on top of it. A lot of people don't realize that what they see at the games is actually what it takes us about 20 minutes to warm up. But it's the competitive part is where the kids really kind of get something of their own, and we told them this is all about you now.
Coach, congrats again. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
When New Mexico State Sports Weekly returns, we take you back to Omaha, Nebraska as Pistol Pete walks the streets for a Q&A during the Aggies' visit to the NCAA tournament. We'll be right back. Your NM State men's basketball team recently made a trip to Omaha, Nebraska for their fourth straight NCAA tournament appearance. Aggie Vision and Pistol Pete took to the streets of Omaha during March Madness for this year's Pete on the Street.
Pistol Pete coming in live from Omaha, Nebraska. One day, counting down. You know what time it is, Aggies. Let's party. Pistol Pete here with Eugene Jayhawk over here in Omaha. Eugene, I have a question. How do you feel about facial hair?
I don't like it.
I think he's a little biased. I have a question for you. How do you feel about boots?
I don't really like them.
He doesn't like boots. I'm not feeling real welcome yet. Do you know where NMSU is located?
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Do you know why Las Cruces, New Mexico is special besides that?
My mom lives there.
How sweet is that, y'all? How sweet is that? Who do you think's gonna win the game, Finn?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. We're looking forward to next year's football season. We have a couple questions for Sarah. Sarah, do you know what New Mexico State bird is?
I think it's the Jayhawk.
I think she's kind of confused. Let's try that one more time. Do you know the New Mexico State bird?
Roadrunner?
Well, there we go. She's cleaned up a little bit. All right, second question. Sarah, red or green?
Green.
And there you have it, folks. How many points is scored during a free throw?
1.
This man's a genius. Do you know what Las Cruces means in English?
I have no idea.
It's a shame, folks. It's a shame. When we win this game,
When we win this game,
we'll buy a keg of booze
we'll buy a keg of booze
and we'll drink it to the Aggies
and we'll drink it to the Aggies
till we wobble in our shoes.
till we wobble in our shoes.
There we go. Do you guys know where New Mexico is?
Yes.
Yes.
They think they do. Do you know where NMSU is, guys?
No.
No.
Have you ever heard of Las Cruces, New Mexico? Know thy enemy is the way to win. Who is your favorite player on the NMSU team? She says she loves them all equally. Pistol Pete here. We're signing off, guys. Having a good time in the NCAA.
After the break, head women's tennis coach Ivan Fernandez and I discuss his team's 3-0 start to WAC play. Stay right here. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Welcome back to New Mexico State Sports Weekly. The NM State women's tennis team recently opened conference play with a major statement, defeating UMKC, Chicago State, and Seattle to finish the weekend with a clean sweep. The wins helped the Aggies start conference play at 3-0. Head coach Ivan Fernandez joins us in studio. Let's go back to a few weeks ago, Coach. It's been a busy couple of weeks for your team, but 3-0 in conference play, right where you want to be.
Definitely. You know, we've been focusing on conference play from the beginning of the semester, and we really weren't that concerned about, about our results up to that point. We just knew that we wanted to take advantage of being at home that weekend and really get off to a great start, and we were able to do that.
What's made you so good at home this season? A really impressive mark at home.
You know, I really feel like the seniors have kind of emphasized the fact that winning at home is the key, so that way we can get our fans behind us, get our local support, and they've really just come out on fire every time that we've played at home, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
How big is it to start conference play undefeated at 3-0?
You know, really the most impressive thing is that we were able to win those 3 matches, with our number 2 player being injured. Susana Alcaraz sprained her ankle the very first day, and everybody just stepped up. We had to move everybody up one position, but regardless of that, we still won all 3 matches, confidently, and that says a lot about the team and how much this conference title means to them.
You were in Miami last week. You had some injuries, as you mentioned, and you faced some really good competition last week, didn't you?
No, definitely. The Florida trip are always difficult. I mean, going down to sea level, playing in the heat, playing in the humidity, and then on top of that, to not have a full lineup for any other matches, I mean, just makes it really tough. And we focused a lot on not letting that get us down and really keeping our focus for this weekend in Grand Canyon, where we play Grand Canyon and UT Pan Am for our last 2 matches of regular season conference play.
What were some positives you saw in Florida?
Just the fact that they kept fighting. Like we really fought hard every single match, even though we were, outgunned and outmanned by a lot of these Florida teams. I mean, it's just really difficult to compete against schools like that are able to recruit top players that we just never have a chance to look at. But the fact that we were able to compete with a lot of those top Florida programs, says a lot about our team's desire and dedication. And I know that had we had a full lineup and maybe a couple of days of rest before that, I think it would have been a very different week for us.
Because of the injuries, you've had to mix and match. Are you still trying to find a right combination right now?
I'm hoping that we can have Alcaraz back for this weekend and we can go back to our regular doubles. But if not, then we're just going to have to kind of play by ear and hope for the best.
What's your full preview of this weekend, WAC play?
I'm really expecting us to go into Phoenix fighting a lot. And I really think that we're the team to beat, and I think those other two schools are feeling a little bit of pressure with us going over there undefeated. And if we play as hard as we've been playing, I expect good things from us this weekend.
A month away from the WAC championships. Outside of the injuries, are you at where you want to be right now?
Close. Obviously the injuries, affects everything because it's not allowing us to play that many matches with our full lineup, with our full doubles teams. So I'm hoping that, we only have 3 regular season matches left. So I'm hoping that, by that point, we have everybody in the lineup, we have all our doubles set, and that we're able to play a couple of matches with those teams so that we're ready for the WAC tournament.
The Aggies will face I-10 rival UTEP on April 11th right here on campus at the NMSU tennis courts. First serve is set for 2 p.m. Coach, keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
When New Mexico State Sports Weekly returns, head men's tennis coach Carlos Vargas is in studio after his team also started WAC play with a record of 3-0. That comes your way next on New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Your NM State men's tennis team recently celebrated Senior Day before heading out on a 5-game road swing, and the Aggies returned to Las Cruces with 4 wins and a 3-0 start in WAC play. Here with us in studio is head coach Carlos Vargas. Coach, an excellent start, 3-0 in WAC play. That's 2 straight years now that you start 3-0 in conference.
Yeah, it's been a rough season. We started pretty slow. I don't think I've ever been this far back in the win-loss column, but I knew all along we had a better team. We had just as good of a team as we did last year, but we just were not catching any breaks. We had people sick, we had people injured, people in the hospital. We got the flu. We had it all. And every step we took forward, we took 2 steps back. And I just kept telling the guys, you guys, we're better than this. We're better than this. Hang in there. We're going to put it all together. And boy, did we put it together this week. We just all came together and everybody contributed. That was the exciting part. From 1 through 6, everybody contributed. And that's what we need in this team format.
3-0 last weekend in Edinburgh, Texas. Can you pinpoint some individuals that performed well?
Well, it's hard to ignore the fact that, for example, my senior at number 6, Jermaine Desgardins, it's 5-0, 6-0 maybe on the last 6 matches. So he's been a solid producer right there. At number 5, we have Goldberg, who has struggled at the beginning of the season and is coming together and has got some good wins for us down there. Then we got Pfister, that I moved him up. He was also undefeated in WAC play this week. So those are obviously people that we have to mention in the success of this week. But the key people playing at number 1. Trechakov, who has struggled at number 1 position regardless of who you play. You're always going to have a tough match. And he hung in there. He got us the win yesterday. At number 2, a guy that I had at the hospital the first 10 days of the season, questionable for the rest of the season. Lost a bunch of weight and has been working hard to get back at it. That's Daniel. He got us the win the day before against Pan American. So everybody has stepped it up a notch. A freshman at number 3, Goncalves, decides the match yesterday versus Grand Canyon. So everybody is making, is putting their little contribution in there, and that's what has made the difference.
Did last weekend give you a good idea where you stack up in WAC play?
Yes. Yeah, going into it and knowing that we were going against the 3 strongest teams in the conference was definitely very questionable. It was a crapshoot, but we knew we had it. We knew we had it in us. I haven't seen it yet. I saw the trend at the beginning of the trip, the beginning of the week in San Antonio. I saw how we played a little bit better against Alabama, Birmingham. We had a little setback with an injury against UTSA the next day. Decided to pull one of my starters, Goncalves. I left him out, thinking ahead for conference. It's like, let me save you for a day or two so that you're ready for Friday. That worked. He got better. And but I could see how we were getting better, and I had a good feeling about the upcoming matches.
The Aggies will be on the road for the rest of this season. Be sure to log on to nmstatesports.com to keep an eye on the men's tennis team as the conference tournament is only 1 month away. Coach, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
That will do it for this week's installment of New Mexico State Sports Weekly. I'm Adam Young saying thank you for watching, and go Aggies.